Hi everybody, I think my video is working. My name is Julie Flores and I go by the Quantum Priestess on Instagram, and I have a website called the Quantum Feather Space that I am rebuilding actually. So today I wanted to share some knowledge, wisdom that I received. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and what's been going on with me for the past year. And I know some of you have already heard this, but so I'll do it very briefly. I've been a nurse for over almost 30 years. I've been a psychiatric nurse for at least 25 of those years. I walked away from nursing last year in October. I have been running a small business out of my home. I make soap and I create journals and dream catchers and crystal and clay jewelry to help keep some kind of income coming in. I have been guided and protected and blessed. My husband's working, my daughter's working, so they help to support me. Because of the current situation of the world, there are other things that have become available that help us as well. And I have taken advantage of those. But I think my work is just beginning. I truly believe that we came to this place, this planet called Earth, to undergo trials and tribulations, to test us, to see if we're ready to level up. Think of it like a video game. We're here, throughout a video game, you're building your strength, you're collecting things, you're learning things, you're finding secret things, and that's what we pretty much, it mimics, AI mimics what we are. So I am a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. Dolores Cannon was a role model, and she paved the way for healers like me to be able to work with people to help delve into the subconscious level of the mind. And the reason that is very important is because all our pain, hurt, troubles are stored in the subconscious mind. And by the time it reaches outside of the body, into the body, you start to develop physical illness, mental illness, and you begin to see the world in a different way because you cut your connection off to the divine, because you're dealing with these invading tests. Let's call them a test, okay? Many people in the New Age movement, they preach love and light and there's no evil and all that stuff. That's not me. I have been on a quest to study evil, because evil is just on the opposite spectrum of living, live, to be alive. And if we do not understand the powers that we're dealing with, we will never graduate from this university. During this past year that I've been off, I've had time to think about what more can I do to help humanity, because I really feel like I have passed all of the exams that I had to pass. But I feel like now more than ever, the energy that I had brought with me to this planet needs to be awakened and used. A lot of us have a shell of protection that's placed around us before we come. And I'm speaking about the indigos. I really believe I'm one of the indigos. I believe I've been coming to this place for a very long time. way back when it first started, way back before we were even human, before we formed our physical bodies, I should say. So my quest throughout the times that I've been coming here is to study what some call magic. So if you don't agree with me that magic exists, you can go ahead and shut off this video. But we are powerful manifestors of energy. We create because we have been endowed by the prime creator, not a little g god, the prime creator, to be able to use our power, our magic, to create. I have been on a quest to understand it. The earth natural magic, not the AI systems that have been set up around us. They have hijacked, the evil ones have hijacked the natural system of our creation with an AI system. Now, all of those indigos out there who are still asleep, I am compelling you, it's time to wake up. We have come here for a very specific reason. We've come here to build a grid, to build a magical crystalline grid that will override this AI energetic grid that they use. They use the energy, our energy, and siphon it off of us to keep their grid running. If you listen to Indigo Angel, she explains this in very, very detailed information. And I know it might put some people off because it's very advanced. We have been in a struggle with these entities for a long, long, long time. But I'm here to say that the Creator has sent many of us in here to move people up and out of this fake AI grid, to show them how to ascend through processes of the true teachings, the true meaning of Christ. We have been lied to about it, and I have believed that lie for a long time. And during this time of isolation, I realized I've been lied to. I'm like, why isn't this working? I knew something was wrong, and it finally clicked. So I'm going to be doing teachings on how to start to prepare yourself and your body to move up and out of this dense energy, this fake electronic fog that's been created around us, because we are more powerful than it. So it doesn't scare me. But what will happen is those people who are not ready to advance and ascend will get caught up in that grid. Creator is not going to allow this energy to continue what it's been doing. It has been doing some horrific things to the humans on this earth. And its time is up. Those who don't ascend will be, and I'm not going to say destroyed because your energy is never destroyed. You will be you'll be taken apart. I guess that's the best way I can say it. Your structure and your energy will be released from the physicality back to energy, back to the Creator. It'll be recycled. That's the best way I can say it, recycled. So, no one's ever lost. I'm going to post another story about this energetic expansion back to the Creator that I actually have experienced in one of my lifetimes. Sometimes you have to start from the beginning several times to get it right. And that's okay, because the purpose of us being here is to grow and bring wisdom and knowledge back to our soul groups, back to our creative Creator. When we grow, it's like seeing your children reach a stage in their lives where you're so happy. They graduate from school, they fall in love, they become good at something that helps humanity. That's what the Creator's trying to help us do. The grid work and what's going on with the big O illness right now is another program. And of course it's fear. It's always fear. That's all they have. Fear, fear, fear. But what you need to understand is the strain that they're using does come from a fallen race who only wants to harvest DNA and energy. They have been stuck in this system, imprisoned in this system, and really they imprisoned themselves. And they're trying to get out so they can take over higher realms. But that's not going to be allowed, because there are councils, there are higher beings from other places, which we will not discuss right now, that are helping us with that. If you study, I'm going to give you another name that you should really be paying attention to their work. One is Gigi Young. She's a psychic. She does classes. She talks about what's happening. She explains in a more simpler way, I think, of what's going on with the mental and psychic state of people. Indigo Angel explains the more technical grid lines and geometric connections, and that's good because I'm relearning it, because it's information I used to know but I've forgotten. And you should really watch The Dark Journalist. His series are right on the money. He talks about this AI, and so does Gigi Young, that is trying to pull our energy into a phantom world. And it uses AI to do that. It uses this fake grid to do that. And people are falling for it through fear. A lot of you have to know that something's not right. That's the first step. You need to connect with your higher self. And when people talk about higher self, people are like, oh yeah, what's that? I can't talk to my higher self, blah, 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 blah. When I do sessions in QHHT, the biggest impairment, the biggest obstacle to somebody having a good session is they can't get control of their mind. Now, they become dependent on me as a healer to take control of their mind, and we can do that in a certain way, but you also have free will. And there's a barrier we cannot pass. Like, everybody can't be hypnotized. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of why people can't be hypnotized and how they block that ability for a healer like me to be able to access the information. One of my clients came in, and I'm doing the induction, and even in the induction, he's saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. He had already programmed his mind to say that he can't do this. I cannot work with a client, and maybe some other healers can, but I doubt it, because that was his will. He had convinced himself, I can't do this. This is the biggest problem with healing on this planet. People have blocked themselves off from their abilities by being convinced by others, being convinced by these invisible, I don't want to say powers, because they're really not powers, these invisible influences, to make them believe they can't do something, they're not good enough, they need to kill themselves, stuff like this. Is what this AI energy harvesting system does, because that keeps you in a lower vibration. Sometimes I can use my vibration to help bring others up, but it depends how deep that AI is embedded into you. Another example on the opposite spectrum is I had a client. She was working already with a group of psychics to find out her star lineage and things like that, which I think is great. She knew that coming in. She said to me, I just came here to see if I can be hypnotized. See, people get away from the real reason that Dolores Cannon created this type of healing. You can go get hypnotized by any hypnotist out there, okay? This type of healing, it is a dialogue. It is it's a contract between me, the healer, and you. Either you're going to allow me to help you transverse the areas of your subconscious that you need to transverse to help you connect with your higher self in those higher levels, or you're not. I've helped many people, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the obstacle. I never hear people talking about the obstacles. I think quantum healers are afraid to, because they don't want people to see them as not able to help them. But humanity needs to start taking responsibility for themselves. When you take responsibility for your healing and for yourself, then someone like me can help you obtain higher levels of activation, of vibration, and of healing. I'm going to be doing a video every day. This is my own personal goal this week. And I'm going to be talking about how we can escape this AI matrix. It's not so much about escaping. How can we ascend to the levels of healing to be able to access our higher self, the God consciousness, our soul groups. And I'm not talking about channeling. I'm talking about the natural ability that we all have. And one more thing I want to mention is that there's this, Dolores Cannon talked about the backdrop people. A lot of people are talking about these, I can't remember what they call them, the non-player and characters or something like that. Humans have been infiltrated by this energy for a long time. A lot of humans have DNA connections to these groups who are not doing things in the best interest of humanity. They are feeding and hijacking your energy because they have cut themselves off from the source. So the only way they can continue to live, to be in this realm, to be strong, is to suck off your energy. If you're connected to them in lineage, they're attracted to you because they can access your energy easier because your DNA connections with them. So they feed off of it, and they even replace people. They're able to move aside the soul that has entered that body and replace them. We'll talk about later who I believe these entities are and how they're doing this. This is why there are non-player characters, because they're not under control of their bodies anymore. They've been hijacked. Their soul's been moved out. So when psychics see somebody without an aura or energetic field, without, that spark from the creator, this is why. It's been hijacked and stolen. There are different families that we know who have been controlling this world, and even it gets even darker and deeper. And I might mention them very briefly, but I want you to understand this is a battle. This isn't all love and light. This isn't, I'm just going to pray to Jesus and he's going to come save me. Or if I'm faithful and read my Bible and can quote scripture, God is going to save me. This is what they want you to believe. These are programs to cut you off from the true God, from your true self. If you want to continue to listen to what I have to say, I welcome you. I hope you will join me every morning. I will try to do some live stuff on Facebook. I don't have enough followers to do live stuff on YouTube. If I get that high, then I'll be doing live stuff there. But I want you to know, now is the time of the spiritual warrior. If you are listening to me, you know this is the time. This is the time to raise our frequency. This is the time to learn about who we really are. This is time to build the crystalline grid. This is the time to bring as many of our brothers and sisters with us that we can. There are off-planet species who are helping us. I've heard people say they can't. There are some who can't intervene, but I'm going to tell you why they're helping us and how. We are them. They're our family. Almost every one of us on this planet comes from another lineage, genetic lineage, another species. The human form is not our original form. And for us to think they're not helping us, they're helping us. We're here. We've come in to this place to help. So quit acting like you're waiting for some outside force to come save you. You have everything you need within yourself. You just need to activate it. You need to allow it. You need to give it permission to turn on. So now is the time for the spiritual warrior. So, my brothers and sisters, walk in your power, because you are a child of the Creator. And soon, you'll be able to distinguish between the dark and the light. I love you. Let that vibration carry with you all day. It's the highest vibration we can share with one another. Love and forgiveness. Have a great day. This is the Quantum Priestess, and please tune in more so we can have some discussions. Bye now.